Hey, come on. Hello, Adventure Club. It's Brian here with Retrograde. That's right, Retrograde. Come on in. We're going to walk around the museum today and check things out. So, Mr. Casey is standing here with me today, and Zach's somewhere in the building. We're going to run into him here in just a little bit. But we thought we'd take you on a quick little tour. We've really missed you guys. Wish that you were around right now. Sorry that we couldn't all get together. But we're going to show off some of the new things that we've got in the museum and some of the things that we're working on. So, come along with us. We've been working on each one of the cabinets in that in order to try to get them running better, or working on a couple new cabinets that we've got. We're getting ready to install a 419 board in one of our arcades, so it's got 419 long games. It's not finished yet, but probably the next time, by the next time everybody is able to come on back and come visit in that, it'll be up and going and ready for play. So we're getting ready to move a couple of these guys out and move a couple other new ones in to be announced. I don't want to.
So they'll have some new games when they come back.
Yes, we'll have some new games when they come back. Actually, probably quite a few. We just set up this station, and we've been working all summer long on different projects and now, different filming projects, even doing some ghost hunting, crazily enough. But all of this right here is hooked up to just about every old console that you could imagine. So old Segas, Nintendos, Super Nintendos, Ataris, just all kinds of crazy stuff.
I had the Nintendos.
Oh, did you really? Mm-hmm. Is that kind of the gaming system that you started off with?
Yeah, well, my first one was a Sega Genesis, and then I got a Nintendo 64, and then a PlayStation 2.
Right on. I started off way back with an Atari. I'm really super
Isn't
old.
that the first one?
Yeah, just about. Actually, there was an Odyssey. So Pong was the first game that ever, like first video game that was created.
Gotcha. So the kids kind of played Pong a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit out there. And we've got an old Pong machine that's upstairs. So, but that was actually created by a scientist on, of all things, scientific computer.
Are you telling me playing these games helps with learning science?
It helps you with all kinds of skills. If you want to make video games, science is super important, math is super important, writing, English, all kinds of...
Wait.
Are
you telling me that me playing these games in here, I've been learning this whole time?
That's kind of what happens.
It's been I've been being educated.
That's why we call it edutainment here. So, education.
I thought I was just having fun playing games.
No. We learn.
I've been tricked.
So we just got this all up and going. And this will also be up for play in that with all kinds of old games in that. So all kinds of old console games. That's Miss Megan behind the camera. We're going to break the fourth wall there. Everybody say hello, Miss Megan!
Hi. Oh, look.
Hi.
We have a visitor, Miss Maddie.
Oh, Miss Maddie's here today.
Hey, everyone.
Hi, Miss Maddie.
She misses you guys.
I do miss you all.
Real quick, we just got another new to us, but old arcade. It's kind of fitting. It's Top Gun from the 80s and the new Top Gun
There's a new Top Gun movie.
Yeah, that's coming out. So we kind of got this just in time. But I specifically took the back off of this guy here because I wanted you guys to see what it takes, or what it used to take, I should say, in order for these old games to play in that. So this is just like an old TV right here, and it has a board that's connected to it, so for the color monitor and that. But down here, this is the actual board for the game itself, and this is just a power supply in that. So I'll take you around to the back. Now I'm going to plug this in, and it's going to be just ridiculously loud yet because we haven't worked on the sound. No. What's happening? There it goes. So the ROM is booting up. That's the actual programming for the game. So the Top Gun ROM. Okay, it's done. 1987 on that guy. Woo! Yep, Paramount Pictures Corporation. All rights reserved. So you can hear that it's really loud. The sound is kind of off in that. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it off so we can talk. What we'll have to do in order to fix that sound, there's basically a wire that is loose somewhere, and we may have to run a new wire from the board all the way up to the speaker, and then off to a little sound module as well too that's also run by a chip.
Can you do that yourself?
Yep, we do it all ourselves.
Oh, that's cool.
We even down to you name it. Sometimes we completely gut these cabinets, and we'll replace them with all new parts.
So you can put a brand new video game system in one of these old cabinets?
Yes, you can. There are different boards in that you can purchase in that. Now, one of the ways that we've found to kind of get around and replace them with something that's authentic is you can take old TVs.
Yeah.
And there's a place where you can actually get in the back of the TV and you can connect 3 wires to the red, the blue, and the green, and take it directly into the computer, and it will work the same way that these old the old monitors that were made.
So you're
for
talking
this
about
work.
the TVs that are not even flat screen.
No, they're not even
flat
screens. These 2 right here we have replaced with flat screens.
Oh, okay.
We made this a Double Dragon. It was a Double Dragon. This was not a Neo Geo originally. Mr. Ryan here, Ryan Edmondson that hangs out here, he was a big fan of all of like the Neo Geo stuff and that.
Okay.
That's kind of the arcades that he grew up in. I grew up with some of the older stuff like what's on that Pac-Man. There's 48 games on that Pac-Man. It's got Miss Pac-Man, Galaga. It's filled with all kinds of classics from the 80s. We have worked on every single one of these machines ourselves. Why don't we go upstairs?
What are these?
Ah, that's all Miss Megan.
Oh, these are Miss Megan's?
Yeah, Miss Megan did all of those.
Does she make those?
She's a heck of a crocheter, yes. As we walk up the steps, you're going to see all kinds of, everything from old cartoon production cells to different autographs and that. Yeah, Powerpuff Girls. So that was signed by Tom Kane. Tom Kane also played in Star Wars. He was also the voice of Yoda, which we have his signature on one of those. He was also
Timmy Turner.
Yeah, Timmy Turner's there. Let's see, we got the Trix Rabbit over there.
Tricks are for kids?
Tricks are for kids, yeah. Dennis the Menace, I don't know how many of you know that. This is all like Rankin Bass stuff. This is all Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and all of those kinds of signatures, which I'm a real big Christmas fan. Well, here's Zach. Zach's standing back here. This room here, like our oldest toys are in this room, kind of going on up. There's a lot of stuff from like the 70s and the 80s in this room.
I see some B&Bs from the 90s.
Yes, those are just about all of the super, super expensive ones, which they aren't expensive anymore.
Right, I have all of those.
Awesome.
I've collected them over the years.
Some people think that they're worth $1 million.
That was
Other
me.
people know that they're not. No, at what time? At the height of Beanie Baby Glory, right? People would pay a lot of money for those.
$1 million for a toy.
There have been some that through the years of that have gone for just ridiculous prices. You'd be amazed with video games too.
So what you're telling me is that we should always take care of our things, of our games and our toys. Take care of them.
The whole reason we were able to open up this museum is because we took care of all the stuff that we got basically as children, and we put them all together just like this.
Would you
and
say
grew.
Would you say like just cleaning up and making sure they're put back in the right spot?
Yep, you should always clean up your toys. Always, you should always.
That's a big part of.
I think moms across America have been teaching us, and dads across America have been teaching us that that's what we need to do. It's very important.
And then maybe one day if you keep them nice, you could resell them for a lot of money.
Well, and your kids,
or
your grandkids, or aunts, uncles, cousins, nephews, you never know who might like the stuff that you like. But this is mostly older toys. In here, and it kind of spans everything from like McDonald's to Disneyana. This is where we do the chess videos.
Whoa!
This is where we do all kinds of gaming out of here and that, where we've got set up for role-playing games like D&D and stuff. We've continued to collect other old games in that. There's all kinds of stuff in here. We don't even have all of our stuff in here yet. You're going to be seeing a video of us very soon playing 3-player chess. It's one of the things that we promise. So this is a 3-player chess board. But yes, we have been packing this full. Our game collection has just grown and grown and grown.
Can you tell me about the Warrensburgopoly?
So we have kind of a crazy collection of Monopoly games. But Warrensburgopoly is a Monopoly. It's just, that's all it is, but it has Warrensburg's landmarks in the game. We have Show Meopoly. That's just for Missouri right there.
Wow.
Monopoly game just for Missouri. And then, of course, all of our Monopolies here. This has been another thing. All the old trivia pursuits. Like we have this crazy collection of Trivial Pursuits. We're thinking about actually doing a trivia night some night, and you could pick what version you want to have a question from. But yeah, we're pushing in a lot more gaming in that because obviously we're real big about that here. So of course we got all of our wrestling accoutrement, a little bit of Harry Potter up in there too. Those are Miss Megan's pop vinyls. You should be very proud of them. They're spectacular. We started converting this into a lot more of our trains in that. We still don't have everything up here. Sci-fi, again. Yeah, that's my Star Wars collection.
It's grown since
I know. It's continued to grow. These are some of my favorites that I just picked up this summer, as a matter of fact, so far. These are all from Droids, and these are from the Ewoks cartoon. And both those cartoons were in the 80s, and I kind of grew up with both of them.
Right.
They had limited runs. I was able to add a lot of older figures. This is my original Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I was able to complete him with his lightsaber and his original cloak.
Wow.
Which has been missing since I was about 6 years old.
I can imagine.
I was also able to, I don't have his cloak yet, but this is an original Darth Vader, and I managed to find his lightsaber too. So I was pretty stoked about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on a hunt for all the Star Wars games and that were ever made, to try to collect them all up.
You're going to have to, they're making a lot more.
Oh, I know. So we have everything I've got everything from video games in here.
Now, is this Figrin Dan and the Tonal Nodes? The Cantina Band?
Yes, that would be the Cantina Band. They don't have their instruments with them right now, but they're all, do you know what race they are?
Those are the Bith.
They're Bith.
Now, Bith are really interesting because they can see music and they can see sounds like we could see colors. So it makes them really good musicians. And this is one of the most famous all-Bith bands, Figrin Dan and the Tonal Nodes.
As a matter of fact,
got a 12-inch.
they just got this. This is the double album, the original album.
Wow.
For Star Wars.
Now, can you show us what that looks like?
So this, kids, is what a record looks like for a record player.
Now, how does that fit in a CD player?
It does not fit in a CD player.
Oh,
you have to have a record player in order to play it. As a matter of fact, a record player has an arm. We've got one in the closet. I'll kind of show you.
Okay.
But it has a special arm on it, and at the end of that arm is a needle. And that needle is hooked up to one single wire, basically, right? And that wire runs back towards the speaker and that. And so as that needle runs over the grooves of the record, that's what picks up the sound. So that sound has been impressed in that plastic.
So so there's no like actual sound in it. It's just plastic, and then you have the thing.
That's right.
And then it just
as it runs across, it picks up those little bumps, right?
Yeah.
And makes those sounds. And
wow. So bumps, just the bumps alone are what make the sound.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Bumps are sound.
Bumps are sound in that case. So this obviously, this is just kind of a crazy collection of 70s, 80s, and 90s action figures.
Oh, Xena the Princess Warrior.
Yeah.
I was a big Xena fan back in the day.
Those are the original Charlie's Angels back there. Like some Gremlins, some E.T., Dark Star. I have those two guys right next to each other. Those are two figures from the A-Team. As you kind of go along here and you collect toys, you find out that some of those toys were made way before, and they just get the old molds out, kind of dust them off, change them up a little bit, and kick new toys out the door. This is the video game room. So this is also increased. We just got our first Nintendo box. Nintendo 64.
I had that one.
Donkey Kong 64 set. So just found that. The boxes, for a lot of your stuff, you should always keep all the boxes for your toys, for your video game systems, and all that kind of stuff. That's what adds value.
I kept my PlayStation 4 box.
Nice job.
It's in perfect condition. So
nice job.
I try.
So this, of course, right here is the old 4-player Pong machine. This guy is from 1974.
Now, that's older than me.
Yes, and that is only 1 year younger than me. I'm old. But this is a 4-player Pong machine. So for its time, this is kind of a unicorn. You don't see these at all. There's only about 1,200 made nationwide, and this is one of them. It's a rarity. That guy there is an original Donkey Kong cocktail cabinet.
Okay.
So you could sit, eat your pizza, right? Drink your soda, and play your game all at the same time.
And you wouldn't even get any of this dirty.
No, you wouldn't even get any of this dirty.
It's got glass. You just wipe it up.
They would just come along and wipe it off. That. So, standing right behind Miss Megan right now on the camera there, this is all of our different systems in that. So, all the Nintendos, down into Sega in the bottom of that cabinet, over into the PlayStations, PlayStation 1 and 2 and 3, and then down into Xbox on that other cabinet. And then over here, this is where all the real old video game pieces there, or consoles and that.
Now, all of those are older than Mr. Casey, right?
Yes, all of those are older than Mr. Casey. Most of these are about as old as me or older than me. So That Odyssey over there, that white one with just the knobs, that was one of the first video games. That's what Pong was playing.
Okay.
And so originally there were no controllers. You just played on the system itself with those knobs.
Those dials. Okay.
Yep. And then later on, kind of next to it is what, like with the Intellivisions and that, they kind of started using controllers. And of course the Atari was really, one of the first ones that really gave us the at-home joystick. Zach's fine collection of plushies that has been growing over the past several months. This is the Closet of Wonderment. This is full of all kinds of old tech.
Wow.
We just got an old Sony Walkman cassette player that we're getting ready to throw in here.
This is the old tech, huh?
Yes.
Now, I do see Guitar Hero. That came out when I was alive.
Yes.
Does that mean I am now old?
You're getting there. You're getting there. That's a little bit just, we've got so many different types of those controllers. We stuck those controllers in there. But it's got some like laser tag from the 80s. This guy right here, before there was the interwebs, right, before the World Wide Web, you had to hook that up, and that would talk to somebody else's phone, basically their modem, in their home. And so just like you go to a website today, or you go to somebody's page, I used to run a website, but my parents would only let me do it at night.
How come you couldn't?
In order to do
How come you can only do it at night?
Well, the minute that you turned that on, it completely took up your phone, so nobody else could call you.
You couldn't.
No, it had a setting.
Could you make a call?
No, you could not.
Wow.
No, not in the same way.
So you couldn't use the computer and the phone at the same time?
No, because you were using the computer.
You know what? I remember that.
Call somebody else.
I remember that now. That you say
directly.
that, I'm actually old enough to remember when I couldn't. Yeah. It wasn't long, but I remember when I could not, my mom would yell at me to get off the computer because she needed a call.
Well, I'm super excited because, well, scientists just came out with basically a new chip for fiber optics, right?
Okay.
That transmits at 44 terabytes a second now. Like 1,000 high-definition movies, all downloaded in a half a second. Done.
So I could get every single Star Wars movie and cartoon and short series, television, anything.
Anything.
I could get it all in like a second.
In a second.
I could download it in a second.
Yes. And that technology will be coming through. I know. So just in my lifetime, how fast, right, all of that technology
It used to be 30 minutes to load MySpace.
Oh yeah, this would take hours and hours and hours, right? Back in my day, they had larger disks than this that worked for scientific computers, but this here is a floppy disk, and this is one of the original floppy disks.
Can you play that in a car?
No, you can't.
Okay.
You had to have a special computer, sort of like the old Commodore 64s, or there were, obviously some of your older computers.
You can't use those on your computers these days, huh?
No, nope.
Wow.
So then we went from those into like little 5 1/4 discs, which are buried back in there, and then we went to CDs, and now pretty much everything is digital, right? Because we can
like a USB drive.
Yeah, like a USB drive.
Okay, I use those.
Those are old opera glasses.
Can you explain an opera glass?
Sure. You want to see these? I love these. I had a pair of these when I was a kid. My grandparents gave. So you would go to the opera. You would go to the theater, right? And maybe you didn't have the best seats. You were sitting, real far in the back.
I don't have the money for that.
Right, exactly. I don't have hundreds of dollars to sit up front, so maybe I paid $20 for my seat all the way up in the nosebleeds, right?
Yeah.
So you had these, and they're just, you pop them open like that.
Wow.
Check them out.
Oh my gosh, Pavarotti would be crystal clear.
Right, exactly.
I could be all the way in the back, and Pavarotti would just be singing right to me.
So you could just look through there, and it magnified everything for you, and away you go.
Wow.
So no different than like binoculars, right?
Okay.
Other types of binoculars.
Okay.
But they were made specifically for that, and they were nice and compact. You could put them away in your pocket or your purse, and away you went. But again, we've been adding a lot of stuff over the summer.
There's a lot of new stuff that I haven't even seen.
It constantly changes. It constantly, people have been really gracious in that and brought stuff too, as they've been kind of cleaning out their closets, their homes, their attics and stuff. They bring us pieces in, and we just add it right to the collection.
Dude, that's pretty neat.
So,
all right.
there you go.
Well, thank you, Mr. Brian. Thank you for the tour.
10-cent tour.
Thank you very much.
Hope to see you guys soon. Gonna miss you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.